At that point, she hissed, scratched at them, and ran away. It was really chaotic and abnormal. They called my cat a C-word and left in a hurry. Everyone else who was still there just looked at me confused, probably just as shocked as I was. Now it's the morning, and my little baby is hiding deep in the closet, refusing to come out even for food. I am scared and suspicious that something happened to her. I wish I had paid more attention. She's been around large groups before, so I wasn't really expecting anything like this. If anyone could give me advice on how to make her feel better, that would be lovely. Additionally, if someone could confirm my suspicions, I would appreciate it. Update 1. My partner's uncle came knocking on our door this afternoon and shared video footage of the two friends who were acting sketchy last night. In the video, it showed them putting my kitty in a plastic bag and swinging it around, slamming her against the walls. Uncle owns the building we live in, so he was able to share this with us. Those two monsters were at the end of the hallway with my cat, and they were at it for around 10 minutes. I can even hear my little baby screaming through the video. We haven't confronted anyone yet though, as this was about 30 minutes ago. Update 2. Hi everyone, thank you so much for your support and advice. As for Tiger Lily, my kitty's name, she is doing fine now. My partner's cousin is a vet and took her in for a free checkup. Thankfully she is okay, with no lasting physical damage, but we just have to be careful when we handle her. She doesn't seem to be fazed in the slightest and is back to doing her normal goblin things. Her snuggles are excellent, and her biscuits are as soft as ever. She's purring like a broken record though, which makes me sad because she has an unusually loud and deep purr for a kitty, and it is one of the things I love about her the most. Other than that, she is really happy to be home. I found her as a stray when she was 2 weeks old, so we bonded a lot since I was the one who had to teach her how to cat. I'm her person, and she's my baby, so it was no sweat at all in getting her to feel better. When I look at her now, it makes me go crazy inside knowing someone took her and hurt her, and for what? I want to freak out on them, but for her sake, I have to stay calm and do right by her by bringing these lowlives to justice. I filed a police report and began the process of pressing charges. I showed the video footage to my friends who were at the party, and no, I will not share it on any socials. There are already enough disgusting things for people to see on the internet, and I don't want my cat to be one of them. I know she is just a cat, but I want to respect her. It sounds silly, but she is like my other half. The friend that invited them expressed his remorse and said he did not expect those two to ever do what they did. He had known them since high school, but he calls them his weird friends, you know, the friend you feel bad for because no one likes them, so you stay friends with them. Well, now we know why no one likes them. He swore to confront and cut them off. I told him to hold off on that, and to ignore them for now until I get the charges ready. I want to be the one to confront them. Also, here is what's messed up too, they have 3 cats of their own, so that's extremely disturbing. Update 3. Hi everyone, a lot has happened in the past 2 days surrounding this unfortunate event. Let's begin with yesterday morning from around 10 a.m., since that's when everything started to move forward. One of the two ended up being taken into custody since they were home when the cops showed up, but the other was nowhere to be found until around 5 p.m. yesterday when he showed up at my place covered in sweat. He was in a panic, and after observing his behavior a little more, I realized he was in a strange state, maybe on something. He was talking back and forth, mumbling, then saying, "I'm sorry, I was forced to do it," in random outbursts. I figured he wanted to apologize, so I let him ramble for a couple more minutes before he finally blurted out an apology for hurting my cat. I wanted to scream and tear up, but the only thing that showed was red-hot and dry anger. I asked him if he had anything else to say, and he said no, just that he was sorry. I didn't say anything else and just closed the door in his face and immediately called the cops. I watched him from my window as he paced back and forth outside, doing random gestures and having random outbursts. The cops showed up pretty quickly, thankfully, and arrested him. I got a call later that night from a random number. It turned out to be their aunt, and she was crying and apologizing profusely. She said she had no idea that her boys would do such a thing, and thanked me for turning them in. However, she did have one request, that I don't share this with anyone because the younger one, the one who showed up to my house, doesn't deserve to share the same sins as the older one since the older one was known to cause trouble and harm. I felt bitter towards her for even requesting that. After hearing her out more and learning more about their past as a family and as individuals, I felt a little twinge in my heart, and maybe even a little sympathy for the younger one. I know you guys are going to hate me for saying that, but don't worry, I didn't give in. I thanked her for sharing her story with me, but it doesn't excuse the horrific act that I saw them do. She asked again if I was going to expose them, and I said maybe. That was the end of that phone call. This morning I got another phone call from her, and she told me that the older one is still in custody, but the younger one is going to rehab soon. I haven't had a follow-up with the police yet, so I won't take her word for it until I hear from law enforcement myself. This may be my final update, so thank you guys for the advice and support, as well as confirming my suspicions and encouraging me to take action.